Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Goose Pimples, the show where I, Paul Breeden, am joined by my wonderful cousin,
Eric Artherbridge,
to delve into the creepy and skin-crawling stories that keep us all up at night. Eric!
Paul, welcome to Goose Pimples.
Eric, I want to say at the top of the show the thing that has been on my mind more than anything else for the past week, and that is that the Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. And you were there. You were in Philadelphia for the magical moment. Right. How was it?
Yeah, I know that's right. It was great. We had such a great time in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. I was there with my two brothers and my cousin Corey. And Philadelphia was lit.
Where did you watch it at? What bar were you at?
We were at Station Bar and Grill.
Ooh.
And yeah, there were a ton of people there. Everybody was rooting and cheering for the Eagles.
Where did you go afterwards? Did you hang out in that like mass of humanity outside?
Oh yeah, we all went down to Broad Street.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so awesome.
And I saw some crazy stuff going down.
I bet. Did you see the people flip the car over?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you what. Well, everybody was really hype. Everybody was having a great time. Everyone was yelling, "Go Birds! EAGLES Eagles! Big Dick Nick!" And I saw people. Yeah, people were definitely climbing up the light poles.
I saw that.
I was pretty sure I was going to see somebody fall on their head, but luckily I didn't.
Well, I'll tell you what. My grandmother said weeks ago that the Eagles were liable to win the whole thing, and I'll tell you what. They won the whole thing. Eric, I have something funny to say about... Did you see the guys that flipped the car over? It was like out front of a hotel. So you probably didn't catch it because you were there in Philadelphia. But the local news guy, they kind of caught it live as it was happening.
They did?
Yeah. And right after well, I don't know if it was live, but like they saw the car go, and then it was like right after the car had been flipped. And the guy on the local news said, "Well, that'll teach you to valet park." And then... and then immediately caught himself and went, "There's nothing funny about this. I shouldn't have said that. That was a very bad joke." That was great. I hope somebody has that clip somewhere. It was awesome.
That's funny. However, in all fairness, I mean, you weren't supposed to be parked on Broad.
No.
You know, everything was like closed down because they knew it was going to be crazy.
Yeah.
So anyone who left their cars on Broad...
You're asking for it.
I mean, there were like a couple of cars here and there. People were jumping on top of them, running across them. For the most part, there wasn't anything on Broad. But the ones that were there were getting trampled.
Yeah, well, and we don't condone those actions, but, you know, you got to know better. And
know better, yeah.
All right, that's going to conclude our sports segment for the year, I think. But, yeah, go Birds.
Go Birds.
Let's get into something more along the lines of what we normally talk about, and that would be the subject of today's podcast. Now, today's podcast, Eric, I wanted to do... It's maybe not so much creepy or spooky, but it is something that's like, you know, it's one of those things that gives you goose pimples sometimes when you hear it, and that is the idea of predicting the future.
Ooh, I can do that.
Now, I'm talking specifically as to when TV shows and movies have predicted the future.
Oh, yeah, The Simpsons are notorious for doing this.
And we're going to get into that. Before we get into that, I do want to say that this episode of Goose Pimples is brought to you by paraboxmonthly.com. Oh, wow. You can head over to Parabox Monthly right now and get your first box, which will include an awesome soft style t-shirt. Eric, I'm wearing the February t-shirt right now. It's Black Eyed Children. It was a Urban Legend theme, Urban Legend themed.
Urban Legends.
Parabox. Yeah. So you'll get an awesome t-shirt. And you will also be entered into a chance to win free merchandise if you can get to the end of the online scavenger hunt.
Paul, I thought you were going to sign me up for Parabox Monthly.
I can't be buying everybody Parabox Monthly boxes.
Paul, you know I'm broke.
I got my Parabox. I'll tell you what. If you got February's box, and here's a little heads up, if you get March's box, you will receive the exclusive Parabox Thurston Goose Pimples sticker. The only way to get this sticker is by ordering next month's Parabox, and you can do that by going to paraboxmonthly.com and using promo code GoosePimples at checkout to save yourself 10% off your first box.
Yeah, you got to get the Thurston sticker.
The Thurston sticker's awesome. If you want to see it, I posted pictures on our Instagram. You can check that out. But let's get to the episode, Eric. How
Okay,
about it?
all right. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so the first show that I'm going to talk about is a show that I don't think you've ever heard of, because I know I've never heard of it, and I'm way smarter than you.
Okay, if you think. Let's hear it.
Have you heard of a show called The Lone Gunman?
The Lone Gunman.
Well,
I don't know. When's it from? The 60s?
No, this is actually from 2001. March of 2001 is when this show aired, okay? So The Lone Gunman was a spin-off of the X-Files. I guess it had some characters that were originally in X-Files, and it was made to appeal to the highly suspicious conspiracy theorists in all of us. The show was, I guess the characters investigated conspiracy theories and, like, paranormal things that, I don't know. I never saw the show. But in the pilot episode, Eric, they may have gotten a little too close to the truth.
Uh-oh.
So in the pilot, the main characters, I'm assuming these are last names, Byers, Frohike, and Langley, are investigating a terrorist threat. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
This terrorist threat leads them to discover a government-sanctioned attack on our own country. You want to know why the government was attacking our country?
For all.
To boost gun sales.
Oh.
And you want to know what the plot included, Eric?
What?
The plot included flying an airplane into the World Trade Center.
What?
Eric, you want to know what happened just 6 months after this episode aired on television?
What happened?
Some terrible people flew planes into the World Trade Center.
So wait, when did this air?
This aired March of 2001.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So just a few short months before the 9/11 attacks.
That's crazy.
It is crazy, right?
Yeah, that's really crazy.
Do you
maybe
think
that's where they got the idea from?
Oh, that's what I was going to say. I mean, do you think maybe we're playing our cards a little too loose?
Yeah, it's like which came first, the chicken or the egg?
That's true. It's the
hard to
chicken,
say.
right? Or was it the egg?
Well, that's the thing. Nobody knows.
You're right. Should we
It's
move
that
on?
age-old question. Yeah, let's move on.
Okay. Let's move on to a show called Person of Interest.
Oh, yeah, I heard of that one.
You were
I
on
think I
that. Weren't you
saw
on
it.
that one? Just let me know if you were on any of these shows, Eric. Okay?
I wasn't.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. May 10th, 2012. There was an episode of Person of Interest that was titled No Good Deed.
Who's on that show? Jennifer Love Hewitt?
I could not answer that question. I can tell you that on this particular episode, there was a character named Henry Peck. If that
okay.
rings any bells.
Nope.
Well, in the episode No Good Deed, Henry Peck got himself into a little hot water. It seems Peck was an extremely paranoid professional who, it turns out, worked for the NSA. The NSA, of course, stands for the National Security Agency. And Peck found out that his employer was running a massive surveillance program. And he spills the beans, Eric. He puts the NSA on blast.
I know what this is going to be. What's that guy's name? John Snowden?
Edward Snowden.
Oh.
Yeah, just 1 year later, a young man named Edward Snowden would do the very same thing and set the nation into a frenzy over Big Brother's observation tactics.
Maybe he just got the idea from the show.
Maybe. The NSA got the idea to look at everyone's naked pictures from this TV show, which gave Edward Snowden the idea to tell everyone that the NSA was looking at everybody's naked pictures.
Yeah, it could be.
Did they get yours?
Probably. I mean, who hasn't, am I right?
You're right.
They're viral.
They've gone viral.
Yeah.
Hold on.
so what
Before
else?
we move on, let me. Speaking of your viral pictures, a couple years ago, Eric, my father was down, And there's a place, I think Dick's Sporting Goods is a national chain, right?
I guess.
This has nothing to do with anything. This story's so off topic, but I wanted to share it because I think it's humorous.
Okay.
Anyway, Dick's Sporting Goods. If it's not a national chain, it's on the East Coast, and it's a sporting goods store. And every couple months or so, they have a sale on golf clubs. Well, when my dad was down, he wanted to know if Dick's was having a sale on golf clubs. So I said, well, I'll check. I pulled my phone out, and I went to www.dicks.com. Eric, that is not the website for Dick's Sporting Goods. So if you guys have an inquiry as to whether or not Dick's Sporting Goods is having a sale on their sporting goods, it's dicksportinggoods.com. They're not a sponsor, but for your
I guess they couldn't get that website from whoever has it.
No, I think that was like one of the first websites that got locked up.
Yeah, seems like it.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the Chris Rock show.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember the Chris Rock show?
Kind of, yeah. Everybody Hates Chris.
It was. No, that was a different Chris Rock show. This one was actually called
show.
The Chris Rock Show. Yeah, this was.
Oh, I don't know that one then.
The year is 1999, and Chris Rock is on top of the world. Fresh off his Saturday Night Live stint, he was hosting his own show with his own name on HBO called The Chris Rock Show.
Oh, okay.
One episode of The Chris Rock Show featured a skit where Chris recalls a fictional meeting he had with O.J. Simpson. In the sketch, Chris Rock claims that O.J. stopped by the HBO offices to promote his new instructional video. The video was called, quote, "I didn't kill my wife, but if I did, here's how I did it."
Oh, my God.
And I don't know if you know this, Eric, but 8 years later, the Juice ended up releasing his own personal memoir, which he titled "If I Did It: The Confessions of the Killer." Did you know that? Did you know that he did that?
Yeah, I knew he released that book. It's insane. It's an insane story.
Okay. Have you ever seen the cover of that book?
I think I may have seen it, but I can't remember. Is it the glove or something? What's on the cover?
No, I'm going to send you this book, and you tell me the first thing that you notice about the cover of this book.
Okay.
All right, here, if you look in the Discord chat, I just sent it.
Oh, no. How do I get to that? Hold on.
Let's go back to Discord.
No, I'm in Discord. Oh, yeah.
This is actually becoming one of our fans' favorite segments of the podcast, and that is Eric trying to figure out how to look at pictures.
Stop it. This computer is slow, this is all jacked up. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so what's the first thing you notice about that cover?
I did it. Confessions of the Killer.
The if in this in the cover of this book is so small, and it's hidden inside of the eye. We're gonna put this up on Goose Pimples, GoosePimplesPodcast.com. That's the name of our website.
Thank you.
Yeah. Why would what? Do you think he had a hand in designing this cover?
I don't know. I think that he's like some kind of crazy narcissist who is like, I got away with it and I can rub it in everybody's faces. Exactly. I think that's probably his mentality at this point.
You might be right. There might be a little of that, or a lot of that.
Listen, speaking of the Juice, did you ever watch that miniseries? I think it was called The People versus O.J. Simpson.
The one with Ross from Friends in it, right?
Yes, he plays Kardashian.
Yeah. I watched, I think, the first episode or two of it, but I never finished it. It's got Cuba in it, doesn't it? Cuba is playing OJ?
Cuba Gooding Jr., yeah, he's OJ. Sarah Paulson does a phenomenal job as Marcia Clark.
Really? I love Sarah Paulson.
Yeah, Sarah Paulson is great. And you know what? By the end of this program, I really loved Marcia Clark. I felt for her the way, because it's all from her perspective, and basically the way that the tabloids treated her during this trial and how she wasn't really given a fair shot as a woman back in the 90s.
Very unfair, right?
Yeah, Yeah, but she did a great job.
Okay, so there you go. Check out The People versus O.J. Simpson. I think it's on Hulu, right? Oh my god!
I don't know. It was on. I think it came on FX, but I don't know where you can find it now.
Yeah, it was originally on FX.
Yeah.
Well,
great program.
I'm gonna
Phenomenal.
have to seek it out because I have to finish it.
Yeah, and right now I'm watching the assassination of Gianni Versace. I don't know if anyone's catching that, but that's pretty good too.
No, what's that on?
FX.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it has, what's his name? Darren Criss. He plays the crazy killer guy. And
who's Darren Criss?
He's from Glee. He was
I've
on
never seen Glee.
Oh, Glee. Phenomenal show. You would love it.
All right, there you go. Check out Glee. Check out the murder
the assassination of Gianni
Versace and
The People versus O.J. Simpson.
And the Chris Rock Show.
And Chris Rock, yeah.
And check out, well, this one's for real because this is a really good show, and I think they're all on Netflix. Check out Quantum Leap. That's going to be the next show we're talking about, Eric.
Oh, I used to love that show when I was a kid.
Now, I'm surprised, just based on what Quantum Leap is, that they didn't have a lot more of these. And maybe they did. You know, with him jumping all over the place, all over time. And
oh, yeah. Time and space.
You'd think maybe they would have a few other predictions. But they did have one, and this is one that stands out. So in an episode titled All Americans, which aired in 1990, Sam is trying to prevent a school athlete from throwing a game and thus ruining his future career. That's not the important part. What is important is that at the very end of the episode, Al, you remember Al?
Yeah, Al, the hologram.
So Al is watching a football game on TV. This football game is Super Bowl 30, which wouldn't happen in real life until 1996.
Oh. And what year is this episode from?
This aired in 1990, so 6 years prior. So as Al watches in the Quantum Leap episode, the Steelers are in the Super Bowl, and they're down by a score of 3 points. 6 years later, the Steelers would find themselves in Super Bowl 30, and guess what, Eric?
Down by 6 points.
Well, they were down by 3 in the episode.
Oh, 3.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say.
They did find themselves in Super Bowl 30, and they also found themselves losing to the Dallas Cowboys by a score of 20-17. Eric, you want to do the math on that one?
6. Like I already told you, it's 6. Oh, excuse me.
You're excused.
Thank you.
Okay.
So then what happened?
What do you mean what happened? That's it. The Dallas Cowboys beat the Steelers in Super Bowl 30.
Oh, I thought there was going to be some guy doing something he wasn't supposed to. And
no, that was
Sam had to stop him.
Sam had to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
No, that's not what happened.
That's weird.
Okay, Eric, let me ask you a question.
Okay, sure.
Have you ever heard of the zany, off-the-wall, made-for-TV British movie that aired in 1968 called The Year of the Sex Olympics?
No, I never heard of that one. It sounds good, though.
You've never seen that?
That sounds like it's right up my alley.
So, The Year of the Sex Olympics is a movie that it portrayed a dystopian future in a not-so-distant world where a group of powerful elites more or less control the population by dumbing down all of the people with television. Now that alone is actually a hell of a prediction, but it gets a little better. One of the programs mentioned in the Year of the Sex Olympics consists of viewers following a group of contestants who, Eric, have been stranded on a desert island.
Uh-oh.
Does that sound familiar to you?
Yeah.
It sounds like what?
Big Brother.
Well, you're close enough. But
just kidding.
Yeah, people credit this crazy made-for-TV British movie with creating reality television before it was created back in 1968.
Well, speaking of reality television, are you watching Celebrity Big Brother?
Oh, Eric, maybe we should do a Big Brother podcast.
Yeah.
Where we could talk about each week's episode of Big Brother.
All right, but there's like 3 episodes a week.
I know, they're really rushing it with this one. I know these celebrities have a lot going on, but they gotta slow it
yeah,
down.
they are rushing it, but even in the regular one, there's 3 episodes a week.
Well, we're gonna have to do 3 podcasts a week, Eric.
Yeah,
We could do one and talk about the whole week.
Yeah, we could just do one and talk about the whole week.
I would do a Big Brother podcast. Would you do a Big Brother podcast?
Yeah, sure. Are you watching?
Oh, we could get Lacey in on it. She would love talking about Big Brother.
Oh, good.
Yeah, who do you want to win?
I think that Shannon Elizabeth.
She's nice.
Yeah, she seems nice, but she seems like she's doing a good job. But I think it's still a little bit too early to tell which one I want to be the winner.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a little while. I'll say this. Initially, when I saw the commercial for Celebrity Big Brother, they did a thing where they flashed all the celebrities on the screen real quick, and they were like, "That's right, all of these celebrities will be in the Big Brother house." And I swore, Eric, that I saw Jenna Fisher. Jenna Fisher's the girl that plays Pam on The Office.
Oh yeah.
So I even texted Lacey. I said, "I call Pam. I'm rooting for Pam." But she wasn't there. I must have. I don't know what I was looking at, and I kind of hate all of them, except I like Chuck Liddell. I'm rooting for Chuck Liddell.
Chuck?
Yeah, Chuck Liddell, the UFC fighter.
Oh, okay. When's the last time you watched this show?
Is he out, Eric?
I don't know. I gotta watch to see.
I only saw the very first episode.
Oh, okay.
What happened, Eric? Am I Googling it?
No, don't Google it. No spoilers.
I'm Googling. What happened?
Stop it.
Oh my gosh. Did the Omarosa thing happen on the show?
Or what Omarosa thing?
Oh my gosh. No spoilers, don't look it up.
When she talks about Trump?
Oh no. What happened to Chuck, Eric?
Paul, no spoilers for our listeners.
It's too late. They should have seen it. I should have seen it already.
Yeah.
What happened to him?
I don't know. I fell asleep for 20 minutes during it was a 2-hour episode. I have a sleep disorder, and I fell asleep for 20 minutes, and when I woke up, everybody was voting. So I don't know, because in the beginning of the episode, everybody was planning to get rid of
Omarosa?
No, the other guy, the pretty boy. I forget his name.
What other guy?
He's from Big Time Rush.
Oh yeah, James Maslow.
Yeah, that's him. Everybody was planning to get rid of him, but Omarosa and Keisha were being really pushy because I think they have an ulterior motive.
Yeah, they seem like it.
They wanted Shannon Elizabeth to get more blood on her hands by using the power of veto. So they wanted to take Chuck Liddell, whatever his name is, off the block and put Mark McGrath up.
They should have. Mark McGrath looks like a ghoul.
He does look like a ghoul, but but they weren't going to get rid of Mark. That's the thing. They weren't going to get rid of Mark.
You know what, Eric? We need to say this for the Big Brother podcast.
All right, yeah.
Stay tuned, people, because there's a lot of Big Brother. I don't know how we could keep it going for a full year, but maybe it'll be one of those podcasts that's just on Big Brothers on.
Yeah.
Well, if Chuck's gone, then I'm with you. I want Shannon to win. I really like Shannon. She seems nice.
All right, well, why don't you go ahead and get caught up, and then we can record a Big Brother episode tomorrow.
Okay, I like it. All right, you hear that? Everybody stay tuned. Big things coming.
Yeah.
From Arter Breeden Media.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. I forget. What were we talking about before that? None of this seems spooky at all.
Reality TV. But Paul, listen, you disappeared from my screen. What happened?
I turned my camera off. It's okay.
Oh, I like watching you.
Well, I can't see you, and it seems like it's a really one-way relationship, you know?
Well, you're more of an exhibitionist, and I'm more of a voyeur. So it works.
Fair enough.
All right. So, okay. Reality TV, what's next?
Okay, so the next show is actually one of my favorite shows, and they predicted the future, Eric.
What show?
Guess.
The Simpsons.
Nope.
Fraggle Rock.
Nope. Maybe.
The Office.
Close.
Oh, I know. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
No, colder.
Damn. Oh, so it's more about the Office, more like a job show, or
Yeah, yep. Sorry, listeners, we're not going anywhere till he guesses the show.
all right. Well, give me a hint at least.
Okay, it's filmed similar to The Office. It's a show where they do, it's like a fake documentary style show.
Modern Family.
No, ew. No, it's Parks and Rec, Eric. You're done. You're out.
Oh,
You lose.
Parks and Rec. Yeah. No.
So-
Leslie, no.
In the final, did you watch Parks and Rec?
Not all of it. I haven't seen
All
every
right.
episode.
Go back to. I tried to watch Superstore, Eric.
Oh, that's a funny show.
2 thumbs down.
You're a bozo.
Okay, so maybe we should do a TV review podcast where we just talk about popular TV shows.
Okay.
All right. This is all stay tuned. All right. In the final season of Parks and Rec, which aired in 2015, in an episode titled Ron and Jammy, the series peers into the future, all the way into the year of 2017, to show how things turn out for some of the show's favorite characters. So this was like, it's the last season. It was one of the last episodes of the last season, and they were kind of like, 2 years later, and they were showing what happened to everybody.
Yeah.
So one of the characters, named Lucy, was living in Chicago. So during this episode, the gang goes and they visit Lucy in Chicago. During their tour of the city that she's giving them, she informs them that everybody in Chicago has been in such a great mood since the Cubs won the World Series. Eric, at the time that this episode aired, the Chicago Cubs, that's a baseball team, had not won a World Series in 106 years.
Damn.
In 2017, the Cubbies...
Don't tell me they won.
The Cubbies actually were able to break their championship drought and win a world championship. They won the World Series in 2017, just like Parks and Rec said.
Whoa.
Yeah, pretty impressive, huh?
Did they predict it, or did they just get the idea from the show?
You think that the Cubs got the idea? Yeah, the Cubs saw the show and went, you know what we should do?
We should go ahead and win one.
Yeah, that was a good idea that they did there. I bet the city would be in a good mood.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, so everybody's been waiting for it. Those are the other shows that, here and there kind of hit the jackpot and got one right. But we're going to move on to The Simpsons, Eric.
Nice.
Now The Simpsons... So, if you don't know what The Simpsons is, and I don't know how that's possible, The Simpsons is
You are living under a rock.
the longest running animated series in the history of television. I think I said that and it sounded right. I didn't fact check that, but
That does sound right.
I think that's
I've heard
right.
that a bunch of times. I feel like I heard that 10 years ago, and
yeah,
it's still on, so it must still have that title.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And The Simpsons is, I'm not going to say most known because they're known for a whole lot of things, but The Simpsons, especially as of recently, have become increasingly known for their seeming ability to predict the future.
Oh, yeah.
Now, with the show that's been on since, 1989, I guess you'd accidentally predict some things correctly, but
Oh, yeah.
it's almost outstanding the amount of things they've been able to predict. Okay,
Name
Eric,
a few.
let's dig in. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Season 22, episode 1. A couple of the characters had a pool, like a gambling pool, where they were trying to predict who would win the Nobel Peace Prize. Mm-hmm. And Milhouse actually put his money on Professor Bengt Holmstrom to win the Nobel Prize in economics. And 6 years after this episode, Bengt Holmstrom won the Nobel Prize in economics.
Cool.
Yeah, that's one.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. Smartwatches, Eric. The Simpsons actually predicted the idea of smartwatches. In season 6, episode 19, there was an episode where a character was talking to his watch, which had some sort of video chat built into it.
Oh, cool. But that's an idea that's been around. I mean, like James Bond had that, right?
Did he? I don't know.
I think so.
You tell me.
Somebody. I mean, I don't really know.
Well, how about this, Eric? Episode 20.
What?
Season 23, episode 22. The Simpsons predict that Lady Gaga will perform at the Super Bowl halftime show.
Oh, yeah. On wires, right?
Well, in 2012, Lady Gaga performed for the town of Springfield while hanging in midair. 5 years later, she flew off the Houston NRG Stadium roof in real life to perform her Super Bowl halftime show.
That's right.
Yeah, so not only did they get the performance, they got that she would be hanging from wires and flying all around the place.
That's nice. Did anybody see Justin Timberlake's halftime show?
Yeah, what'd you think?
I didn't really see it because in the bar I was in watching the Super Bowl in Philly, they didn't have the sound on for the halftime show.
Oh. Well,
but I've heard mixed reviews.
Yeah, well, you're not going to get a fair review from me because I'm not a fan, really.
Neither am I.
I wasn't impressed. I mean, a lot of his songs... It turns out he's a pretty good singer because one of the songs he did towards the end, he's got some chops. But the rest of it was just like nonsense music. I don't know. I'd have been more...
It didn't look like a very exciting show.
I wasn't excited.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah, poor Justin Timberlake. How about this, Eric?
Yeah, what?
The Simpsons, in season 6, episode 8, predicted the invention of autocorrect.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, a couple of bullies are taking notes on their phone, and they write the phrase, "beat up Martin," onto a Newton device. It kind of looks like an apple, but it's got a little worm coming out of it. The memo quickly gets translated to "eat up Martha." This is said to be an early foreshadowing of autocorrect frustrations.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah, how about that? I mean, this is in 1994. There was definitely no autocorrect in 1994.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This is one of the more impressive predictions that they seem to have come up with. In season 20, episode 4, Homer tries to vote for Barack Obama in the U.S. general election. But the faulty machine changes his vote.
Damn.
Yeah. So 4 years later, in real life, a voting machine in Pennsylvania had been removed after it kept changing people's votes from Barack Obama to Mitt Romney.
Oh, not Mittens.
Yeah, Mitt Romney. That's like spooky correct. You know what I mean? Like, that's a little too on the nose.
Yeah, that's crazy. But you know what?
What?
When you want to win, you're willing to do anything. So I bet he got that idea from The Simpsons. Mittens, I mean.
What are you talking about? Yeah, you lost me.
Stop it. I'm talking about Mittens Romney. That he got the idea to change the machine so that when you click on Obama, it goes to Mittens.
Okay, I see where you're going here.
Thank you.
Okay. This one, Eric, this is said by many people to be empirical evidence that Matt Groening is a time traveler and is actually predicting the future in episodes of The Simpsons.
All right, okay. What is it?
You ready?
Yeah,
so
I'm ready.
In season 8, episode 1, this is in 1998, there was an episode called The Wizard of Evergreen Terrace. And Homer Simpson becomes an inventor and is shown in front of a complicated equation on a blackboard, right? Now, at the time, in 1998, this was just a bunch of numbers that they put on the blackboard to make it look like Homer was a genius. it turns out, Eric, that the equation that is on the blackboard actually predicts the mass of the Higgs boson particle.
Oh, yeah, I think I heard this the other day.
Yeah, so it was first predicted in 1964 by Professor Peter Higgs and 5 other physicists. But it wasn't until 2013 that scientists actually discovered proof of the Higgs boson in a $10 billion experiment.
Damn!
Yeah. And Homer figured it out back in 1998. So, how about that?
That's crazy.
That is crazy, right?
Yeah, it's demonic.
I mean, that's not... And if you saw this equation, Eric, I don't even know what the hell I'm looking at. You want to see it?
Yeah, send it over.
I don't think I can. Man.
You're a real tease, my cousin.
I'm so sorry.
You want to see it? You want to see it, boy? yeah, let me see it. Well, I'm not going to send it.
I'll tell you what, though. I'll make sure I can get it on the website so everybody else can see it.
Oh.
And you can go to the website.
Okay, yeah. Everyone else can see it except for me. No problem.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to Season 6, Episode 19. This is all The Simpsons.
Here?
These are all examples of the same TV show accurately predicting the future. Okay?
Yeah, somebody who's in charge of the story is really tapped into some kind of otherworldly knowledge.
It's Matt Groening. He's a time traveler. We'll have to talk about that when we talk about time travel. We were just talking about doing an episode of time travel.
Nice.
Okay. Anyway, Season 6, Episode 19. The episode is titled Lisa's Wedding. It aired in 1995, and it portrayed a trip to London. Lisa went to London, and they show a shot of the... what's the thing with Big Ben on it?
Big Ben.
Yeah, but I think it's something, right?
I guess it's like a palace or something. I don't know. Windsor. I don't know.
The tower.
I have no idea.
The Tower Bridge. Is that what it is? Whatever it is. It's Big Ben, but it's got a digital clock on it instead of the regular hands. Okay, that's not the crazy part. That didn't really happen. It's not digital yet.
Oh, that happened. I thought you were trying to say in real life. You're describing whatever you're trying to tell me about, but that's in the show.
So in the show, they show Big Ben, and Big Ben is it's a digital clock instead of what Big Ben actually is right now. But behind Big Ben, there is the silhouette of a skyscraper that is almost the exact same shape as the Shard. The Shard is a building that wasn't constructed until 2009.
What?
Yeah, 14 years later. That is actually there and would be in that spot.
But they predicted it.
They predicted it. It wasn't there then, and it's there now. But it was there then.
That blows my mind.
Yeah, it's crazy, huh?
Do you have pictures of these things?
Not. I should have.
So I can compare and contrast.
I should have. Shouldn't I have?
All right. Well, at least put it on the website so that everybody else can see it.
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody else except Eric. You made me lose my spot here, Eric.
Well, anyway, so I think I just did a quick Google search, and it looks like it's to answer the question, it's the Palace of Westminster in London is where Big Ben is.
Correct.
Just FYI.
FYI.
I've been over there. I went over there.
Were you in London?
Yeah, I went to London.
How was it?
It was nice. It was a little hard to understand the language, but we did get by at least.
The language in London? English?
Yeah. It's
just
different
that
dialect.
heavy
It's a different
accent,
dialect. Huh? Yeah, it's very hard to understand.
Okay.
But I did meet a guy, speaking of telling the future, there was a guy there who claimed he could tell the future. He was very bizarre. He reminded me of my friend's guinea pig Stud. And he kept Did
he tell you that one day you would be doing a podcast about TV shows predicting the future?
He did, yeah, he told me that.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, but we were in some pub and he had kind of like a curly gray mullet.
Okay.
And he would make like really, what's the word I'm looking for? Like he would jerk his head around left and right, and left, and then he would stop and blow up to fluff his hair out of the way throughout the conversation.
But what did he say about the future?
I don't remember. I have no idea what he said about the future, but he was just so bizarre and crazy.
How was his breath?
I don't think I got close enough to smell it.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah, I try to be cautious of these things.
Eric, let's talk about Simpsons Season 5, Episode 19. It was called Sweet Seymour Skinner's Badass Song. All right? Now,
nice. In
this episode, they show the lunch lady at the school digging her hands into a barrel that says assorted horse parts. Now with more testicles, right? And putting it in the school food. This one's this one's a stretch, but let's fast forward. That was in 1994. Let's fast forward to the year 2013 when the news article comes out saying, horse meat scandal, 4 new products test positive. 4 beef products sold by Bird's Eye, Taco Bell, and catering supplier Breaks have been found to contain horse DNA, says the Food Standard Agency.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, so I hope you've never eaten at any of those places, Eric.
I do eat a Taco Bell quite often, but I don't eat the meat.
Oh, I'm sure you're fine then.
Yep.
I'm sure you'll be safe.
Yeah, I just eat the beans.
Okay, we have 2 more here, Eric. And these ones, again, these are some of the more impressive ones. So, Simpsons, Season 5, Episode number 10. Matt Groening accurately predicts that Siegfried and Roy get attacked by their own tiger.
Oh, yeah.
In a 1993 episode called Springfield, the S is a $, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love Legalized Gambling. The episode shows the 2 famed magicians, and they are viciously mauled by their trained white tiger while performing. Of course, in 2003, Roy Horn of Siegfried and Roy was also attacked during live performance by their trained white tiger. Montecore was his name.
Oh, Montecore. Okay.
Montecore. And actually, Montecore is, I believe, still alive because I guess they were going to put him down, and Roy had none of that. He said that absolutely not. Montecore was only trying to protect him, and he should not have to be punished or put down for that.
Yeah, I think that we talked about this last week, right?
We talked about it.
2 weeks ago.
I think 2 weeks ago when we did the Magicians one. Yeah. Yeah, so actually I learned more about that incident since then, and I don't know where I learned it. Oh, you know what it was? I listened to an episode of Stuff You Should Know, which is, if we're going to do plugs, that's another plug. If you want to listen to a great podcast, listen to Stuff You Should Know. And they did an episode on lion taming, and they were talking about this. And they said in their podcast that a common belief is that there was actually a lady in the front row of that show who had a beehive haircut. And the haircut, I'm not kidding, the haircut freaked the lion out so much that at one point, Roy, I guess, walked near the lady, and that's when the tiger, ran after him and tried to pull him away from danger and to safety.
What is this tiger? Part-time magician, mascot, part-time fashion police?
Well, I think it was the beehive thing that was the real issue, not that it was, 25 years out of style.
I don't know. Hard to say.
It is hard to say.
Well, the thing about tigers is that they're not domestic animals. They're wild animals, so...
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, so you don't really know what's going to happen. They might eat you.
Don't know what's going to happen, They are wild animals.
What are you Googling it to see? Are tigers
Eric, you're right.
domestic?
You're right. You don't know what's going to happen when you play with tigers. It's true.
Yeah. You may think you know, but you have no idea.
Okay, anyway. Moving on, Eric. I'm done talking about the tigers.
Thank you.
I want to talk about
sex, baby.
the last prediction we're going to talk about, and it is it's pretty dead on. It's pretty spot on here. So, in the year 2000,
In the year 2000.
In the year 2000, The Simpsons predicted that one Donald Trump would be elected president of the United States of America.
Well, that's probably where he got the idea from.
And there's a picture, right, of Donald Trump in 2015 coming down an elevator, waving. And I'm going to send you this picture. A lot of people have seen this picture. It's made the rounds. Have you seen it? You know what I'm talking about? The elevator picture?
I don't think I've seen it.
Okay, check this out and tell me this isn't creepy. Sending it? Is it loading?
It's loading. It's loading. Oh my god. I see it.
Yeah. Pretty wild, right? Look, there's even a guy, they're even holding the signs. See, they got the sign down below the glass in the cartoon, and that guy's also in the real life picture that was taken in 2015.
Yeah, that's freaky.
Yeah, so I guess this episode of The Simpsons, in this scene anyway, they were portraying the future, obviously. And it's funny because someone who wrote for The Simpsons was asked why they decided to, make Donald Trump the president in this future that they were portraying. And they said that they got together and they said, okay, what would be the worst possible state that America could be in this future? And that's what we're going to go with. And someone said, Donald Trump could be president. And they went, yeah, that's it. That's the worst thing that could happen.
They're not wrong.
They're not wrong, and it did happen, and we are all living with the consequences.
But so this week was interesting for Donald Trump. Did you see that clip of his hair getting blown apart?
Oh my god, that was so
the
funny.
Steps to the airplane.
That was very, very funny. Did you guys see that?
What the hell is going on under there?
It's almost as if he just has like bald patches. Like it's not even really a toupee. It's just he has some spots on his head where hair grows, and he wraps that around all the bald spots.
Yeah,
Eric, I have one more picture from The Simpsons that I would like to show you. This is another Donald Trump picture. It's just eerie, but there you go.
That is eerie.
Yeah, right?
This picture came out when?
Before the picture below it was taken.
How can this be?
I don't know, but there it is.
That is really freaky and insane.
If you don't know what we're talking about, and again, these pictures will all be at goosepimple.podcast.com if you want to check them out. There was a picture in The Simpsons hanging on a wall of Donald Trump and some other world leaders all holding an illuminated globe. And almost the exact same picture was taken years later.
It's identical.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Whoa.
But, that's pretty much it. There are other ones. The Simpsons, of course, has the three-eyed fish, and a three-eyed fish was discovered in a reservoir in Argentina.
Yeah.
The Simpsons predicted the censorship of Michelangelo's David, which it has since been censored.
What do you mean it's been censored?
I'm pretty sure that... let me see here. So,
how do you censor a statue?
Well, they covered up his little weenie.
Did they cover him?
Yeah, they had to cover the little weenie up, Eric.
That's not right.
Let's see. What are some other ones that I kind of skipped over? I mean, there were a lot. There was an episode where Professor Fink made some hamburger earmuffs, and and then hamburger earmuffs were made by another company.
What?
Yeah. Let's see. There was in 1998 there was an episode where the kids were all very excited to be playing a yard work simulator, and then in 2009, of course, Farmville became a huge hit.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I mean, honestly, some of them are a stretch, some of them are a little far-fetched, but there's just so many of them that it's pretty bizarre. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's bizarre.
So there we go. I mean, that's what I have for this episode. Those are the examples that I found of television, movies, media accurately predicting the future. And I know a lot of it is just happenstance. You put enough TV out there, some people are going to get it right, but it's still eerie.
But I think people can tap into some kind of like otherworldly knowledge of things yet to happen. I
think that's out there, for sure.
I think The Simpsons are doing that.
I think so. I think also if you get enough, some of the things we talked about, I think if you get enough intelligent people together, you can almost kind of trace out what's going to happen. I mean, it seems crazy, at the time, I guess, to talk about a watch that you can video conference with, or that one day we'll have handheld cell phones that can autocorrect when you make a typo. But if you have enough intelligent people and they go, what would be a feature if there was a phone that you could write on or type into?
Yeah, true.
I think that idea would come up. But some of these things are just bizarre. I mean, the Boson-Higgs equation, or the Higgs-Boson, that's insane.
Yeah, and the picture of Trump with those other world leaders.
And the elevator.
Escalator.
You know what I meant. You know what I meant.
Yeah, but I know, because I know you well enough. I can decipher your crazy codes, but listeners, our listeners don't know what you're talking about.
Well, listen, listeners, if any of these future predictions gave you goose pimples, or if you know any that we missed and you'd like for us to share, you can do us a favor, number one, by telling a friend about our podcast, and you can reach out and tell us the ones we missed by sending us an email at goosepimplespodcast@gmail.com.
And listen, I got something to say.
Oh, Eric's up.
We know that you people have ghost stories or interesting spooky stories. Don't be lazy. Tell us about them. Maybe even come on our podcast and talk about it, because this is the stuff that's interesting to us. We want to hear about it. Tell us.
Yeah, come on. We know you're out there. You're listening. We can see that you're listening. You can't hide from us.
That's right.
But don't be intimidated. I mean, even if it's just a small story and you think that maybe it's not good enough to be on the pod, that's crazy. It's good enough.
Yeah, we want it.
Come on. You can come on the podcast, or you could just send us your story and we'll read it for you. But we want to share your experiences. We think that's what's fun about this whole community, and this, everybody's got some kind of paranormal or supernatural story, something that's happened to them that they can't explain. And
that's right.
I can't keep digging them up on the internet. So let us know and we'll share it. It'll be fun.
Thank you.
It'll be fun.
Thank you.
And again, if you want to do that, it's goosepimple.podcast@gmail.com. You can check us out on Instagram. You can check us out on Facebook. And again, make sure to go to paraboxmonthly.com and get signed up. March is going to be, I think it's probably going to be the last month for the Thurston stickers. They are limited edition, and I think they're running low. So if you want your exclusive Thurston, it's demonic Goose Pimples sticker, paraboxmonthly.com, Goose Pimples, promo code at checkout. Eric,
great.
That's all I have. This has been fun. We will see you guys in a couple weeks. And I don't know if we're kidding or not, but keep an eye out for those other podcasts. We'll make sure to get them out there if we do them.
Oh yeah, keep an eye out. All right, great. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you guys.